Welcome to the Junior High Humanities Podcast, where our students dive deep into the heart of what it means to be fully human.
Every episode is a student-driven journey featuring their unique insights, reflections, and discoveries from their humanities assignments.
Stay tuned to the Junior High Humanities Podcast for a captivating exploration of humanity, faith, and learning.
Howdy, I'm Joel.
Hey, I'm Cole.
Yo, what's good? I'm Jackson.
I'm Sam.
And we are the Poem Buddies.
Today we'll be reading, reviewing, and questioning the poems that we have all formed. Cole, you're up.
Alrighty, my poem is named Some Words of Wisdom. The words from a tongue can bring someone life or death. Our words have power. Time flies by really fast. Don't take things for granted in life. Be appreciative. In winter trees shed, and in spring they blossom. Life's full of seasons. Consider your steps. You get to ride your own wave. You choose for yourself.
Referring to the haiku, the words from a tongue can bring someone life or death. Our words have power. How can words be so powerful? How can we use our words for the better?
Our words are so powerful because we can bring someone we can make someone happy, or we can make someone sad.
Yeah, I also agree. I think that depending on someone's mood, because you don't know where they've been or how their life could be, and there's no reason you shouldn't be nice. It's just constantly powerful.
Yeah, words have the power to hurt or heal, and words are the very thing that created our earth. In Genesis, God speaks earth into existence through words.
I think that was pretty good. Okay, so now on to the next question I have is, Cole, how can we be more appreciative, referring to the haiku? Time flies by really fast. Don't take things granted in life. Be appreciative.
Well, I think what this haiku is saying is that, I feel like some people in life just, do things without, thinking through, or just they're not as grateful, as having a house, or, how some people are homeless, they don't have homes. And I feel like we just don't feel like we can take things so granted for life in that way. We have such a good life. We have all the water we can eat. We have all the food we can eat. We have friends. We have a great school that we go to, CVCS. It's honestly just a blessing.
It's the little things in life that we just don't take for granted.
Yeah, I know. In the haiku, in winter trees shed, and in spring they blossom, life's full of seasons. How can we elaborate on that? How can we, expand and open our thinking on life's full of seasons?
I mean, there's always ups and downs in life, Sometimes you do good on a test per se, or, you don't do good. There's always, I messed that up. I don't know. I know where I want to go with that, but I don't know, there's always, going to be ups and downs, but you just never know what's next, and you always have to look at the bright side of things and not just be so focused.
Be positive.
Be positive
on
always.
the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when we were reading in English, the hurricane thing, it was very similar to that, how, some hurricanes are more difficult than others. Yeah. It's just, there's going to be hard times in life, or say, as a grown-up, maybe, money is low, and it's just, you have to be more conservative, and sometimes it's easier, and you can go and buy things that you really want instead of a need. Yeah. It's just there's always struggles, there's always ups and flows.
Referring that to more of a biblical perspective, if life's full of seasons, right, and we're in this down state, does that mean we should just give up on, Christ and God? Because I think he's always got a plan for us. What do you guys think? He's got something for us? Or
There's always a plan, but sometimes it's hard to believe there is when life gets really rough, because you're kind of why is he doing this to me?
It's like a state of despair.
Yeah. So then that's when you start to lose trust. But if you do follow through with his plan and what he tells you to do, there's going to be a reward that's priceless, which is eternal life.
Ooh, I liked that. That
That
was good.
All right, yeah, I agree with Sam on that, because, God created you. He has your whole life mapped out. You just gotta roll with it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so for the next haiku, saying, consider your steps. You get to ride your own wave. You choose for yourself. So what does this look like? Why do we need to consider our choices? Consider your steps. Is it what's the benefit of making sure you're knowing what you're doing instead of just doing what your mind tells you immediately?
Well, I feel like choices always end up with like results or like consequences, and some of those end up like mapping out your own future. So you just got to be really considerate. Like in the first line, consider your steps. You gotta make good decisions in life to succeed.
Yeah, I like that. Also, in the next line, it says you get to ride your own wave. What is it like? What are you trying to say from that, Cole?
Well, yeah, in the third line, it kind of answers that, how it's like you choose for yourself. It's like you're walking your own path. Like there's nobody else with you. there's nobody else with you. People are I was reading an article, and it was like, people want to judge. They like to judge you, but you just gotta, like, you're the one that decides for yourself. Nobody's gonna make those choices for you.
They're gonna try to tear you down and bring themselves up.
Yeah. Well, how can we expand more on that? Like, consider your steps.
I think it's, kind of just relating or expanding more on what Cole said. It can choose your whole life. Like one little decision can grow so much. And for example, what I can think of right now is like if you start taking drugs or something, you think it's fine in the moment, but it's going to affect you so much later on in life, and it's going to mess up your brain, and which could cause you to, commit crimes or something like that. And once you've committed a crime, it's in your records, and getting a job's going to be difficult. Having a good life is just not going to be easy, and it's so serious just to choose like this tiny steps. It's tiny steps, one at a time. No big steps try not to reach for greatness like in one go. You got to grow from where you are.
And don't always like think about the moment. Think about what could happen if you do something.
Yeah.
You always have to think ahead, because our minds are corrupt from sin, and we just have evil thoughts. So we have to think about what really will happen if we choose to do that decision.
WWJD, what would Jesus do, right?
Yeah. I agree with Joel. Back to the first thing he said on how, like, we have to choose for ourselves. Like, they affect us, like how taking drugs and all those bad things. Like, life is like a stair. We got to take one step at a time. If we take such a big step, we're going to end up falling down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that about wraps up Cole's poem. On to Joel's poem now.
All right, so my poem is my testimony poem, which is, I labeled it Chosen. So I'm going to start out. Lost and confused. But life seemed perfect. Through the pain of a mask, it hurt inside. No one could tell, neither could I. Now Kylie has changed lives, but a hardened heart can't change, right? No. Anyone can be saved. A dead apple creates a new tree. But I wasn't locked into eternity. For many are called, but few are chosen. A constant drive to be more like Christ, found in understanding.
I think that's a great poem. I feel like it shows a lot of emotions, and the way you like displayed those, it really like made an impact. I feel like I really like the fourth line where it says, through the pain of a mask. I feel like sometimes people can mask those negative emotions with like a smile, and it like, people don't realize it because, they don't see inside you. So I feel like sometimes you just gotta like tell people your emotions.
That's kind of what I was trying to get to, and the fact that it says the pain of it. Like, anyone can have a mask. They can, if they're sad, they can show that they're happy, but it hurts. You might seem happy, but you're still hurting inside. Even though if you're sad, no one can see the inside of you except for God, and that's something that you just really need to consider. And it's not something, you shouldn't be hiding it. If you need to talk to someone, go talk to someone. And if no one's there really to support you, which I highly believe no one will, people will always be looking to help you, you can just pray to God, and that's kind of what you just could do all the time, anytime.
Yeah, God's always there for you.
Which is especially why we always have to be like kind to others, because people can like mask their pain away and just like act like everything's fine. We always have to just like,
I know what you mean. You have to show kindness, because they might be hiding it, and you're going to make it even worse for them.
Well, yeah, you always have people that you feel comfortable around, so you got to express those emotions. Like, you can't, like, we read about, or like in one of the poems also in English class, it was about like the poison tree and how someone was like masking all of their like emotions, and they finally took it all out on the person, their foe, the person they didn't want, the person they didn't like, and it was a pretty good poem, and it really shows that meaning of through the pain of a mask.
Referencing to the third line, but life seemed perfect. If life was so hard, how did it seem perfect?
So in this, even though like I described life, I was lost, I was confused, life seemed perfect, you're so lost, and this is something we all sin, and we just get so lost in sin, we don't know what we're doing. Like there's been so many times you'll see someone doing something, and you're like, that's terrible, but they might be thinking it's totally normal.
Yeah.
You know, some people's way of looking upon things can be different. And so when you're corrupted and covered in sin, you look around confused, and you're just like, this is fine, and I thought life was perfect until I met God.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. You have like that missing part of your heart until you find God. He's the one that fills your heart.
Yeah.
And no, like, drugs or, like, pain killers or anything could, like, do what God does for us. And, like, it can't, like, take away the pain. But once we find God and, like, see how good he is, that is what will take it away.
Yeah.
I have a question. Referencing a dead apple creates a new tree. What do you mean by this? Could you expand some?
Well, when a dead apple goes into the ground, it dissolves and the seeds get planted, and through the seeds become new roots. And through those new roots, a bigger tree comes out of them.
Yeah.
And that kind of represents us. We have solid roots, and that creates a firm foundation, which is the tree trunk, and then we branch out in life.
Question, expanding on that, what is the dead apple representing?
We are, like, the dead apple, like, our sin and, like, our unholy, unclean selves. And then we are created as a new tree when we find Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, our old to new.
It's like getting rid of our old self and
Yeah.
finding a new person, finding a new us through Christ, right?
I got another question. For when it says, "For many are called, but few are chosen." Why are only a few chosen? Why doesn't everybody want to be with Christ?
So that's a good question, and I'm hoping everyone wants to be with Christ, but unfortunately that's not the case for everything. And what it's saying by "for many are called" is everyone is called. God is not going, I guess you can come to heaven. He's like, everyone's welcome. I mean, we all know that you have to believe with your tongue and with your soul. You believe in Christ and you want to live with him forever, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what it means by "but few are chosen." People say, yeah, I'm Christian, but do they really have that inside? And if you're a bad person, people might think, oh gosh, that person, I feel so sorry for them. If you accept Christ any time in your life, you are going to heaven. You know.
Well, I feel like how even Satan, they know God, and I feel like a lot of people, they do know God, but they choose not to be with him. And I just feel like it's just questioning, like, why would someone not want to live that quote-unquote good life for eternity?
Yeah.
No pain, no nothing, all just joy.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I imagine people who, for example, Satanists. I've always thought like a Satanist is going to be like, they don't believe in God, and some of them know God's real, but they just choose not to believe in him, and they might think the devil's going to worship me, he's going to love me for this.
Mm-hmm.
How I think if they go to hell and they don't accept Christ before they die, I feel like the devil knows he's not the right person. He's the bad person, and he's instead of welcoming them and being like, you did so good and helping me in the world, it's going to be like, you made the wrong choice. Why would you actually think? And he'll just laugh at us and, bring harm and pain onto us.
So, Joel, like, can even murderers and really bad people, can they still be chosen and go into heaven?
I believe so. I mean, it says in the Bible, if you confess and you commit your life to God, you will be able to go to heaven. And God's going to be just, right? He's going to be, it's a good person who did good things in their life. They don't believe in God, and he has just one requirement for us two, kind of. He has us to live a good life, but to mainly commit to him.
Yeah.
Now, someone who's bad, if they commit, they will be with God, and we all are sinners, right? So that's kind of the thing right there. And God's not, there's sins above others in our perspective, but who knows? God might see a sin as sin because he gives us rules to follow. And it's like when we give you rules, when teachers give us rules, someone breaks this rule, but someone breaks this rule. They're both a rule, right? So it's kind of, they have the same equality of shedding, for example, murder, innocent blood, or lying or not obeying your parents. It's a commandment. It's still a rule. And God's just going to be just upon us.
By grace we have been saved.
Exactly.
In one of the last lines of the poem, the line says, "A constant drive to be more like Christ." What does a constant drive look like?
It looks like steadfast love toward him. I mean, God gives us always like everlasting steadfast love, and he's like always there for us and will always be there for us, and we just have to show that love and some of it back, because we will never be perfect, but we have to try to be, and to be the best selves that we can be.
Yeah, we just gotta be a disciple of Christ. We gotta spread the love that he gave to us to other people.
Fishers of men. Right, yeah, it's all, after you've confessed, it doesn't end there. You got to be a citizen. You want to know that you're locked forever in eternity, which was one of the lines. It's you got to be constantly praying with God. He's your friend at this moment now. He's not someone like, okay, I believe now. You got to talk to him. You got to make sure and just kind of know that you have a better understanding of him, so you can spread that to other people around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it up. On to the next poem by Sam.
My poem is balance. Tilt too far to one side, everything falls and crumbles. If there's too much weight, it'll snap. Balance is the key to life. A plant will die if it has too much water, but it will die if there's not enough. If we grow strong roots and thrive, if there's balance. Too much good can be bad, but you need good too. You have to find balance to find peace. Balance doesn't come from man, it comes from God. No man has achieved balance through himself alone. You must use the strength of the Holy Spirit. Balance is the key to life, so find the balance in your life.
That was a really good, actually.
I know.
I actually really liked that.
I have a question about the very first line. It says tilt too far to one side. How do we maintain that balance in our life? Like how it says tilt too far to one side, everything falls and crumbles. How do we stay balanced and not tilt to one side?
And you kind of just got to even everything out, because if you focus too much on school, then you won't have enough time for sports. If you focus too much on sports, there's not enough time for school. But you also have to leave room for like reading the Bible or praying and growing your relationship with God, because that is our number one priority. But if you do dedicate every moment of your time to the Lord, then you're not going to be successful on this earth, and it might be a little bit harder. Because if you focus absolutely everything you have on God, there won't be time for school, but we need school. So there are some worldly things that we need, but our main priority should be Jesus.
To equal it out.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. So also adding on to that, I feel like we have to, like how Sam said, we have to be equal. But like, what if we tend to lean on one side? What will happen to us?
Like it says in the poem, the next line, like everything will fall and crumble, and just like everything will break down.
So, I have a question. For the line, too much good can be bad, what exactly do you mean by how too much good can be bad? Isn't good always good? It's like good to be a good person, right?
Well, if you have too much good in your life, you can get a false sense of hope, and when something bad happens, it's just going to crush you.
And it's like, it's people who think I'm a good person, I do good things all the time, they start getting they think too confidently about
They're
themselves.
like full of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I'm a perfect person. I'm set up for life, right?
Well, yeah, they also, like how Sam says, like, they have, like, false hope. Like, in bad situations, they're going to always feel good. But there's there's sometimes like a need to like sense bad because like you're then not aware of some situations because you're always so happy.
It's good to have an understanding.
Yeah.
Sam, for the line, balance is the key to life.
How do we achieve this balance?
Well, you see, the answer is through Jesus. Jesus is always the answer.
And so exactly how does Jesus supply this balance?
Well, I think that he supplies it through our faith. Like we're connected with him through prayer. We can like relieve stress and like have questions to God. Like how we can pray to God and he will answer our prayers. He will be the one to comfort us. He's always with us. Like I can think of a verse, which is my life verse. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. He's always going to be there for you.
And you got to be kind of there for him, or you can be some sort of way of being the messenger. Like, for example, the balance between... So the analogy between school and sports is we got to be messengers of God. We got to be messengers of God, and we got to do academics through school to glorify God. We got to use our talents with sports to also glorify God. For example, JV, he's amazing at soccer.
Appreciate it.
He can use it to glorify God, right? He doesn't... If he makes it all about himself, there's no balance there, right? And he's going to be destroyed later on in life. But if he's making it about God, but also doing great in what he can do best, there's a good balance there.
All right, now on to JV.
The title of my poem is Mom, the Way I Love You. Mom, I love the way you are, the way you hold me tight and squeeze me in your arms. You're as caring as a mama bear, always there to fight and protect. For some, life is a piece of cake, for others not so much. I love the way you persevere, even when times are tough. You always have a look that hope is on the horizon. I love the way you help me when I am in need. I love the way you are because that's how I want to be. There is no one like you, and there will never be. You have a heart of gold. You are one of a kind, just like a star in the bright night sky, and someone many look up to, and who many want to be. Mom, I love you so much. My love endures forever to the moon and back.
Wow, nice. All right, what do you guys get from this poem?
I can tell that Jackson Vernon loves his mother a lot. I think we all do, but this is something that we could probably all relate to a lot, and how much our parents, mainly our mothers, because they just kind of step in and kind of lead a good path for us to follow, right? And they've lived life the same way we have, so they can really give us the best advice on anything that we kind of have.
And are going through, I agree.
Yeah, so I'll ask you this. So for the line, the way you hold me tight, I have a question. So what are the feelings that you're expressing when she holds you tight? For example, relax, or do you feel in love, or are you just like, what's an adjective to describe this?
Like, I would say an adjective to describe this is like, I feel a relief. Like, I feel loved and like complete and like just, I don't know.
And the physical
just, like,
touch.
Yeah, it's like, I love my mom, and like just like holding me tight just like makes me feel like I'm loved and like that I'm appreciated by her.
It's like a comfort kind of.
I saw this.
I feel like with everyone is.
Yeah.
I just feel like when it's just like for some people, like who are more like physical touch, like a hug can be so like relaxing and comforting and like warm.
And it can truly be like meaningful.
And and even for someone who isn't physical touch, I saw this video. It's like this newborn, made it through childbirth, but the mom sadly didn't get through childbirth. But the mom was an organ donor, and a guy needed a heart transplant, so they give her heart to the guy. And so then the kid was crying nonstop, so they do a test. A bunch of people try to hold the baby, try to comfort. The kid just keeps crying and crying and crying. This is like a newborn, right? And so then they go on and they give the kid to the man who has the mom's heart. And the child stopped immediately because the child recognizes the kid's heart. We all, just a mom's physical touch or just being next to them, it gives us this, soothing, calming feeling. And for anyone who, couldn't agree, it's like you could be fighting that or you could be in a rough time. You're still going to feel, relaxed. And they're going to feel, they feel for you, right? If you recognize their heart, you guys are so, related, basically by blood, right? they feel what you're going to feel, and they want to help you get through anything, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. That's like super inspiring.
It was like crazy. I was watching, I was like, oh my days.
That makes you feel like really grateful and blessed. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I also have a question. Somewhat on what Joe was thinking too. How do you define like the perseverance?
Like, I mean, I would define perseverance as just like, there's like been tough times for everyone, and like everyone goes through these like hardships, and like the way my mom like pushes through these, and like how tough she is, and how she still like loves me and takes care of me through these times even when it's hard. It's just like really inspiring. That's like how I want to be when I'm like a parent.
Because you're a part of their life, right?
Yeah.
You're not just a side hustle or anything. They not only now have to take care for themselves, they also have to take care for you too. They're like,
Yeah.
they have to take you in control and be like, he's my kid and I'm going to love him. And if I'm going through something hard, you're going through it too, right? She's your parent, she supplies for you. But you gotta love her, and she's going to love you. She's going to give you all of her things in return, right? And yeah, that's kind of all.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say like I can also like compare you're like the moms to like superheroes, because like they like you saying they do everything for you, but they also have their own life. It's like living two lives at once, and like especially like you're just like sharing everything you have, and even if you have more siblings, that's just like more like lives you have to live until they're like whatever like mature age where they can actually like fend for themselves, I guess you could say. It's incredible.
Question. So you said on the part you have a heart of gold. What does a heart of gold look like?
To me, a heart of gold is just like someone who goes out of their way to like help other people and puts others before themselves, like how my mom like does to other people. And I would just say like many people would strive to have a heart of gold, because like that's like truly
A love of value.
Yeah.
The value
Yeah.
of that love is gold.
Yeah, going off of that, like the next line, I feel like also answers that question of like the heart of gold. It says, "You are one of a kind, just like a star in the bright night sky." How does she, like, I kind of how you say like, what makes her stand out from the others?
Like what makes her is like I would say who she is, and her, especially her personality, because like it's hard to explain, but she just like, and she's gone through things that like many other people haven't, and it's like I don't know.
Like there's billions of moms out there,
Yeah,
but
there's billions.
there's just one that's
like right for the child. It's like there's always like that one mom that's right for each kid, and
Like the video Joel was saying.
exactly. That's kind of like they're the brightest one for you, right? You see all of them, and I like, for example, just still relating to the night sky. You're looking up in the stars, and you're gonna see them all, and I'll see a mom walking by at the wall, but then I'll realize my mom, or you realize the brightest star out there. You'll see like
The North Star.
the North Star. You see, you see the North Star, and you can see that, and that's kind of, it shows how they're different for each one of our perspectives. For the part where it says your love endures forever, or my love endures forever to the moon and back.
The last line.
Yeah, the very last line. I saw this also video where it
videos
gets
have
super
you
scientific here, but the body has enough blood, like if you were to line it up, somehow line up your blood
No,
for your
it's
entire
not the blood, it's the vessels.
the blood. Listen, the blood that your body pumps, if you made it in a line, throughout your entire life of an average human life, it reaches to the moon and back. And so that when you say I love you to the moon and back, you're saying I give you the love of all of my life, all of my heart, like every part about me is in love with you. Yeah, that's really all.
That's a crazy analogy.
Go.
So recently, I got a note from my mom when I went to Hume, and it said, "I love you to the moon and back," and it just really made me feel like a sense of relaxation and relief that my mom was like there and like with me, and yeah, it just gave me the courage just to like have fun, just like be me. And
Well, I guess that wraps it up for today. Thank you for listening, and bye.
Later.
Adios.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK through 12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.